Welcome back to Next Level Life Hacks, where we take the next steps to our financial freedom. Those who are here for the very first time, thank you for being here. This is a space that we grow towards our financial freedom and independence and improve the quality of our lives. For those who have been here before, thank you for your support and thank you for being here again. Okay, I have realized that the number of subscribers have increased, the likes, the comments, the views. I really appreciate it as we grow towards our success on this channel as well. Now, you must have seen from the title what we're going to be talking about today are the 10 things that the rich do that poor people do not do. All right. Now, spoiler alert, some of the points are going to aggravate you. Some of them might upset you. But if you are not made to be uncomfortable in life, then you will not grow. Most of your growth in life will take place out of places of discomfort, of places of unfamiliarity. So if you are made to feel uncomfortable, then that's good, my viewers. Now, the first thing that we're going to be looking at is the definition of rich or poor. And I define poor as not having enough money to cover your basic needs or not having enough money to live a comfortable life. While the opposite of that would be rich in that you have more than enough money to cover your basic needs and to thus live a comfortable life. Now, the first point that we're going to be looking at is the mindset of the individual. Rich persons have a growth mindset. And what do we mean by a growth mindset? This is a mindset where they look at opportunities, not at pessimistic views. They are solutions oriented. How can they make a situation into one that they can earn money from it? As opposed to poor persons who are more consumed with gossiping, hearing what the latest news is, criticizing others, as we would like to say, a crab in a barrel mentality, right? They are not ones to see the best in situations, how they can make the best of it, and how they can make something into an income generating tool. The next thing that we're looking at is poor persons are always waiting on someone to support them. What do we mean by this? It can be an over-reliance on a spouse. So women, you are relying on a man to supply your needs, while men, you are looking for the next sugar mama who can take care of your financial needs. That means that there's a lack of self-reliance and there's a lack of accountability. And next over-reliance in this category could be an over-reliance on government programs. In the United States, there are things such as food stamps or there is Medicaid, and persons will over-rely on these government programs so they can benefit to get food, housing, clothing. In other parts of the world, for example, Jamaica, you might have the PATH program or you might have other food assistance programs. Now, there's nothing wrong with this, viewers, if it is that you need assistance to get housing, clothing, even help for the education of your children. Where the problem comes in, however, is whenever you dumb down or you belittle or you lower your standard of living so that you can keep on being qualified for these programs. Most of the times, to keep on getting qualified for these programs, you have to show that your standard of living or your income is a certain level. So what do persons do? They refuse to get a job that pays them a higher amount. Therefore, their income will be limited just so that they can stay on these government programs. Then what you continue doing is that you have a cycle of poverty. Your children will grow up seeing you into a certain standard of living as you try to maintain the qualification for these programs. And these children, your children, will get accustomed to a lower standard of living. All right. The rich, they do not do that. They, in opposite, they always seek to elevate their standard of living so that they can live a better quality of life, and they are not reliant on spouses, government program, any reliance on anything outside of themselves for their income. Now, the third point that we're looking at is poor persons not saving. Now, my philosophy, my viewers, is that you should not save just for saving's sake. That does not make any sense. My philosophy is that you save to invest. I've always said to persons around me that success is equal to opportunity plus ability. If the opportunity arises in your life and you do not have the ability to make use of that opportunity, then you'll not have the success. You keep on saving so that once an opportunity comes up for investment, you are able to take advantage of that opportunity. Poor persons never in the habit of saving. Now, I know you're going to say to me, but Sean, if you do not have the money, how are you going to save? Look at your lifestyle. There's always a way for you to save. If it is that you are making too much impulsive purchases, look at what you're spending on in terms of clothing. Look at even some of the things that you are pushing yourself to attain in life, that money could be going into savings. Examples are, bring food with you for your lunch each day at work. You will recognize significant savings by preparing your own meals. Have you ever looked at the cost of your meals if you were to purchase breakfast, lunch, and dinner each day? When you purchase a 5 pounds of chicken, 2 pounds of rice, a pound of peas, and you prepare your meals yourself, recognize significant savings. Also, trying to keep up with the Joneses. What you invest in clothing, it's not worth it. Why should I be wearing someone else's name on my clothing and spend 3 times more for that clothing and not saving what I could have been spending less on clothing? So if you analyze your lives, you'll realize that there are simple key ways that you can recognize savings. Then when you have accumulated your savings and an opportunity comes up, you can grab that opportunity, whether it is to purchase a car, to run as a taxi, or to put in a rental business, or it is that you will have a deposit as a down payment on a property to then use as an income generator, but at least you'll have that savings to make use of the opportunity. All right. The next one is not using debt wisely. Now, the rich leverage debt. And what is meant by leveraging debt? For example, you purchase a car and you use that car to run in a rental business or a taxi service. When you do the math, you realize, for example, the loan costs you $1,000 per month. However, you can make $2,000 per month by operating that car in a business. And once you have satisfied the debt of the loan, plus the maintenance and cost of running that vehicle, you realize that you have $200 left. That is leveraging debt. That is taking out a loan to invest in something that will more than cover the cost of that investment plus the loan. So therefore, you will be left with a net gain at the end of each month. That is cash flow. That is using debt to invest. However, what do poor persons do? You will have a credit card, or you will take out a loan to purchase an outfit to go to a party, or you will take out a loan or use your credit card to buy the latest iPhone or the latest device or the latest television, not realizing that you're putting yourself in more debt when whatever you have purchased will not be able to make a return on that investment to cover the loan that you have paid for. Or it might be, my viewers, that you take out a loan to purchase a high-end vehicle that can never give you any returns on a monthly basis. So you are left with an expense of that item plus having to pay the loan. So that is not how rich persons operate. If they are taking out a debt or a loan, they first of all refuse. Let me go back a bit. Rich persons refuse to use their own money. They have a philosophy known as OPM. What does that mean? Other people's money. So when you place your savings in the bank and you leave it there with that ridiculously low interest rate, the rich person borrows a loan from the bank, which it is your money that is loaned to them. They then use that money to invest in something that earns significantly more, while they keep their cash for their lifestyle and for other investments or emergencies. All right. Now, the next one is relying completely on employment. Now, let's get something clear. I am not one that is opposed to employment. There must be workers in any industry, in any country or island. So I'm not fighting against being an employee. That would be unrealistic. What I am saying is that you cannot rely only unemployment. That's a trick to keep you in a rat race, to keep you on a spinning wheel. And your shackles and your handcuff is your monthly salary. I was told once by a previous employer that the wealthiest persons in life are business owners. Therefore, if even you are in employment now, you must have a futuristic goal of being in a business of your own. Therefore, while you're employed, start a side hustle, always being on the lookout for something or some way to solve a problem in society. If you solve enough problems for persons in society, you will have a successful business, because persons that you satisfy their needs are willing to pay for that satisfaction. And that comes back as well to the mindset of wealthy persons. They are always looking for the next opportunity to earn an additional income. Let me give you an advice as well, my viewer. If it is that you want to attain a new asset, whether it be jewelry, or you want to go on a vacation, or you want to purchase a new vehicle, that cost must never come from your current income. You need to find something to invest in that will yield you an additional cash flow, and that additional cash flow is what is going to be used to invest in whatever new item you want to acquire. Whatever new item you want to acquire must never come from your existing income, because that is going to only leave you worse off financially. Which leads me into the next point. Poor persons, whenever they have an increase in income, their expenses automatically increase. That does not make sense. So for example, I have a job today that pays me $1,000 per month. I get a new job that now pays me $1,500 per month. Instead of saving that additional $500 per month, I find something else that takes away that additional $500. Either I get a new girlfriend that costs me more, add one to the bunch, or I am going to take out a new loan for a more expensive vehicle that costs me more per month, that is going to deplete that $500. Or I am going to give up where I currently reside or rent and rent a more expensive property that costs me more per month. The rich, that is not what they do. Once their income increases, they have a multiplier effect. What do I mean by that? They reinvest that additional income that they are earning so that they can earn more from their overall investment. They might do some enjoyment out of the additional income, but most of it is going to be reinvested into something that at the end of each month, they will have a higher return on their investments. So think wisely, my subscribers, and do not increase or inflate your cost of living as your income increases, or you will be in the same position or worse off. Okay? Now, the next one is that rich persons are decision makers. They do not procrastinate. If they have done their due diligence and their research to realize that something is a good idea, then they act on it swiftly. I have often heard from rich, influential persons that they prefer to make a decision and learn from a mistake rather than not to make a decision any at all, right? There is something known as paralysis by analysis. Poor persons tend to deliberate ideas, be fearful, think of all the things that could possibly go wrong, then they refuse to just pull that proverbial trigger and make that decision. That's not what the rich do, and that is why poor persons will end up not getting as many or as much opportunities as they should, because they refuse to just make the decision. Just do it. There is a popular sports brand that says, just do it. And that's the philosophy you need to put in your life as well. Just do it. Learn as you go along. At the end of the day, when you lay on your deathbed, you should have no regrets, just lessons. Let it not be said that I should have tried something, I might have gained something extra, but I just did not do it. Do not make that mistake. Okay? The next one is, who we surround ourselves with. And this is as old as time in terms of this warning. Rich persons surround themselves with like-minded persons. You will not see rich persons having a predominant poor set of friends. Yes, you are to have friends of every level and a network of every level. But if you really want persons around you who are going to push you, who are going to come up with creative ideas and ways that you can make more money or to start better or new businesses, then you have to have like-minded persons around you. If it is that you look around and realize that all your friends are poor, and if it is that you look around and realize that all persons are not pushing you, they are just pulling from you, then something is wrong. This is a hot topic as well. Persons are going to say to me, oh, Sean, you're looking at discrimination and you're acting as if you're better than others. No, that is not it. If you want to be better off in life, then there must be persons around you who have an experience in being better off in life that can guide you towards that successful life that you are yearning for. If it is that you surround yourself with persons who have a limited vision, no experience, no exposure, then how can they guide you or help you towards the goals that you are trying to attain? It does not make realistic sense. All right. So you must surround yourself with persons who can uplift you, give you ideas, criticize you when you're doing something wrong, but guide you towards higher success. My last and final point is rich persons give back. And this is a critical part of success. The Bible speaks about it. Persons naturally know that the more you give away, the more you will receive. Once you realize that you have something that you can share it with others. Whatever you give out will come back to you tenfold. That's what the Bible says. If you are spiritual or religious, then this will resonate with you. But rich persons as well, they do it for other reasons, as we know. They will do it for the tax write-off or the deductibles towards their taxes that they'll get back, or they'll do it for their recognition in terms of their brand or their identity. And it gets them into certain circles that allows them to get more things added to their wealth. But overall, for humanity and for multiplying your own possessions, the more you give away, the more you will receive. It is the natural order, the ebb and flow of life. So get into this mindset of giving and you shall receive. Going back real quickly, the point I made about sitting back and waiting on others for things to happen. This can happen as well for Christians. And I myself as a Christian, I must bring up this as a bonus point. Right? Persons, especially Christians, will sit and say, I am waiting for God to act in my life. There's nothing wrong with having faith, but faith without works is dead. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Seek and ye shall find. God helps those who helps themselves. There is no sense in sitting back and saying that if God meant for it to happen, it would happen. If you are sitting here and wanting a door to open and sit and pray just for the door to open, the physical door, it will never open unless you, by faith, by hope, by will, get up and open that door. Yes, it is good and it is the best thing in life to have a spiritual backing and to have a faith as your substance and faith as your protection. However, for things to happen in life and for God to act through your life, then it must be that you take action. If He brings you to it, He will bring you through it, but you must get yourself to it. All right? That's another controversial topic, and I expect to get your feedback and your comments on these points because I know some of them would have ruffled some feathers. But as I said, you have to be uncomfortable for you to grow. As usual, my viewers, thank you for being here and taking part in this journey that we're going towards financial freedom. As I said before, we were placed here to rule and have dominion over the earth and to live an abundant life. If you have other ideas that you have thought of that the rich do, that the poor do not do, drop them in the comments, my subscribers. Let me know what you're thinking of, and what other ideas I could put into another video. Remember to subscribe, remember to like, share this video with persons so that we can all grow to financial freedom. Blessings and walk good.